working on not too long ago. And this is the floor. Got a lot of footprints on it. The wall's looking pretty good. And the ceiling, look at that ceiling. Look at that ceiling. We've worked our way all the way down, and you can obviously see this side that way is not finished. So we're gonna finish staining all of this. And then literally looks like bowling alley on one side and worn out to traffic on the other. So we basically got all these slots to finish on the surface and a little bit in between deck boards here. You can kind of see it like right there. Just got to get that. So that's where we are at, and a gorgeous day out. Look at this beautiful, almost non-cloudy day. So I'm just gonna set her up over here so you guys can witness what's going on. We already took the dog for his daily walk. I'm gonna straighten that out like that. Just make sure everything's good on this tripod. Oh, there. That's where it was uneven. Yeah, a second here. Just straightening everything out on this. Making sure all the legs are fully extended. And then this way, you can have a nice unobstructed view of what we're doing. I'm going to use the newer staining gun. Throw some gloves on. That's how you do it. Put your finger through the thumb. Hi. Hi, everyone. All right. Switch that around. Oh, look at that. That works good. So I'm going to shake out the stain. I'm going to open another can. Because we don't really have enough. But once we're done, we're done. And that is going to be the beauty of this. This deck will be nicely finished. That will stick to everything, pretty much. I'll leave this staining pad on, just because I'm gonna need it to basically, I need some for the tray and some for the top. So, sure, whatever's in this can is enough to basically fill all the little voids that we're doing in the ceiling here. This is just like, this thing's been used very well. So we're just going to it's definitely got some holes in it by now. But it served its purpose for sure. So it's on the bag here. Here's my crappy white bag. And that's a lot for the ceiling. I don't think I can get away with this one can because I still have to do all that. And yeah, that's not gonna work out. It's literally like $109 a can, so I got one extra one. But yeah, you know what? I still gotta do the stairs and everything, so yeah, we're gonna have to crack into this one. Alright. Just put this one down here, because that was mixed up. This one gets opened. We can put a little in this tray, which you probably can't really see, but I really need a lot. So this product is supposed to be one and done coat, right? Now, almost sounds like music. product is supposed to be one and done coat. And the problem with that is it doesn't seem to stain all the knots really well. So it didn't look like this before. So I went over it again, and that's why you get this. It's a little bit tacky, and that will happen. Yeah, I don't understand what this guy's writing about. Little Mike and Big Mike. What's he talking about? 7 years. Old girl asks you to kiss a turtle, but it tricky. Honestly, I don't get it, and I really wish I had time to text message back. I guess I could speak it back, but I don't get your comment. So I'm just gonna get to staining. That's what I just put on the channel for. Said staining is almost done is the title. I don't know why we're talking about trailer park shit. But basically, you know what? I'm gonna set up this camera so you guys can see the slats because it's pretty hard to see them right now. So let's go from here. And this way you get a little more. So you get a little more in depth, and then I'll just kind of turn it like that. So the tricky part of this is, for one, it's hard on the body because you're staring up the whole time. For two, you basically gotta get it right into the cracks so that the wood doesn't show. And then you're gonna wipe off all excess in hopes that it's not dripping down your arm. And I don't like being that close to the ceiling, but I'm here just because I can't reach this end. So I'll go as far as I can reach. And sometimes what I find is really helpful is I set up the ladder on the spot. I can just kind of leave the can on the top so I don't spill anything. But I can also use it to get in closer here and go as far as I can reach. And stain. That way you can get a nice, good coat on everything. Looks a little patchy too. And trying not to touch anything with the gloves while I'm up here is a great way of finish this one. The trickiness of this is sometimes you can't get all the way up in there, into the corners, because the sponge has to be wet enough to get some of the stuff in there.
So we get started on the fireplace today,
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just gonna finish up this and then
and then we're still all done by Monday, right?
we're
We're out of here. I promised my wife, George. Like I'm getting in trouble here.
yeah. Can
Okay. Oh, sorry. I should have realized you were talking to someone.
anyways, here we are. Staining away. You know. It doesn't matter if my dog has an ear infection or if I need a day off. It just matters that I get everything done. And everyone else can enjoy their life. While I suffer in mine. Okay, so I reach as far as I can. Reach as far as I can. And it'll try to run down your arm, but you gotta wipe that back. Really getting that into the cracks. Oh. Then you get stuff like that. So what I'm gonna do is stain the crack, and you can kind of see like there's a line of there's a wet line that basically the excess that I gotta kind of smooth out after. And I'll do a whole section. And then I'll get down and then I'll use the mop on a pole basically. To get it all nice and stained. Like I said, it's a little stressful on stretching for sure. You can't have it too wet, but just enough to get all the stain in there. Good spots where you just gotta kind of squeeze a bunch up in there like water. Try not to have it drip down on you. And you gotta look to see if you see any spots where lighter color wood is showing. And let the stain kind of soak up into the wood. You lay it right in here. I'm gonna switch camera angles quickly. Get my rags, I'm not touching the pole with those hands. Because you can kind of see, like, right there, there's a missed spot in there. And I did wipe it down, but that's why you have to like really look at what's going on. Okay. So now that we have, it looks a little dry there too, though. Yeah, it was. You really have to look to make sure you get everything. Sometimes you have to roll over the same spot. Because up in the crack doesn't always get up there unless you kind of sponge it up in there. And then I'll miss a couple spots here and there. Just go over it again. And with this product, you gotta kind of wipe it dry. Okay. Now that we basically, I'm gonna move this back. I feel like the rag is so soaked. You can't even. Alright, so we just need like a little bit. Basically, try to almost apply this on dry. It's also easier when you're higher up. You can see the glare on the product to see how wet it is. trying to go over all the little dry spots. Alright. You basically want to see a little bit of glare on the wood. On the wood surface in order. Feels like that needs a little more. Sometimes you take the edge and just jam it in there if it looks like it's a little. It's like a little dry. Doesn't look like it's covered properly. Sometimes it's really just the color of the wood. You might think it's dry. That's all wood color right there. It literally looks like it's dry, but I'll just go over it anyways. That way, you can't see that I didn't. All right. A little bit more now. Remove this pad over there so it's out of the way. Remove this whole thing over a little more. Let's set this up here. Maybe that'll give you a better look at how much nicer that looks. There. Actually move this whole thing over. One whole section. That should basically get me. Get some more staining here. Should get a body camera so you guys can get all the views. Obviously, you don't want to stand directly underneath. Standing, you might get it in the eye or something silly like that. So it's important to stand just out of the way. And what I find works really well is when you're constantly moving from different angles, you catch stuff that you may not have seen the first time. Sometimes it's also trickery on your eyes because it looks like it's not stained, but it's really just glare. Problem with the stain. Feel it running down the gloves. Just wipe it off so you can reuse. But it's because of the because I have to kind of squish the stain into the crack in some places. So excess of overflow. Ah, I knew it. There was a spot there. I missed slightly. just I would hate to have been finished, been walking around and going, oh, look, I missed a spot. So I go over it really good. That way, that doesn't happen. We're almost done though. Literally like 3 more lengths. 3 more full lengths here. There's another spot right there. And it's a little dark underneath here, but that's because I had to pull out all the lights to do this. Now that all the lights are out. I'm gonna get as many spots as we can before we get off this thing. Running down my arm. Almost there. This will be good when it's finished. It's almost better to have stained this whole thing before. Just because when you're trying to get into the two grooves, you're gonna squish the stain up there so it like soaks into the wood. And then try not to soak yourself with all the stain running down my arm. Look at that. Look at what I do for you guys. See that? That's all the stain running down. That's what I do for this channel. That's what I do. Okay, I think that's it on this little guy here. See, and there's one of those spots I was talking about. Just a little little spot here. Maybe I should show the camera what it looks like. Literally. Oh, I should use the other rag. This is one of those spots I was talking about. You know, I don't want to be doing it all and then all of a sudden. You see this? I don't know if you can see it. Literally. Oh, wait, no, it was right here, right here. Look at that. Watch. So you gotta squish. And then there you have it, all nice. Looks like it's covered. There we go. We got it covered. Now that we're here, watch this. Wipe it down now. Get this out of the way. Just gonna switch gloves. These are soaked. This one's not so bad. Screw it, I'll switch them both. Let my hand dry out a little bit. Actually, just do this. Yeah. See a couple more spots, I see. You try to avoid it, but sometimes you just can't. I just run this back and forth until the actual panel is dry. So, let me see if I can get that like that. There we go. Sometimes that works. Other times it works. little more in there. Perfect. Let's see if I missed. All right, I think everything looks very done. Nice. Oh. There you guys have it. Look at that. Oh. It's shiny. It'll dry out. But we basically got every nook and cranny. I'm confident to say that if you look at this ceiling, you won't find one dry spot anywhere. That's a lot of staining. Look at that. Look at this guy. He's carrying like a leaf or something. He's like, why are you filming me? You are the enemy. Ants are amazing, aren't they? This is actually the reason why this deck got rebuilt. Because of these guys. Oh, I lied. I just found one spot right there. See that? Good thing I'm double checking. Double checking everywhere. But everywhere else, one little spot needs to get a little bit of stain. We're just gonna go over if we see anything. If we see anything, we need to address it. I made all these corners too, little 45s. And it looks beautiful. Look at all this work that went into this place. Put up this whole wall. And the ants were the reason why we had to do this, was because they ate this entire beam, got eaten. And all the stucco had to be ripped off here. And so we replaced it with this wood. This deck the year before was all rotted because there's this product called Trek Deck, I think. And Trek Deck, it's swelled. It's plastic, but it's swelled, and there was no airflow underneath this deck. So these gaps were closed completely. And when I was pulling off the deck, you could see the water was just running off the boards. So everywhere is hit perfectly on the ceiling. The only spot I could find was right here, and we're gonna touch that up, that corner right up in there. There's a little bit. Now, crazy enough, when I was doing all this, I used this orange painter's tape, and it's like sticky to the point where if you stick it on paint, it'll like rip the paint off. And it happened a little bit here, right? Just a little bit there. But technically all this stuff needs to be painted. It's like 20 years old. But I would stick it to the stucco, and it would come off, crazy windstorms and that, and then I would stick it back, and it would stick again, right? So that's probably why I missed some spots like that. But other than that, overall it turned out really good. And the only other thing left to do is to do the in between the cracks here. We got some in between. Now, I would have done that at the very beginning, but I know that if I didn't do that, if I didn't like put all the stain on the beginning, they'd be like, oh, is that all you did today? As you can see, it's a lot of work to stain each and every one of those grooves on the ceiling, just like it is to do it on the deck. And usually what I would do is I would stain all the grooves, and then I would wipe all the flat panels. But this is what we did. This is where we are. If you kind of hear, the deck's a little tacky. So what I'm going to do, because this product, it's only a 1-coat product. Now the ceiling's got 2 coats, but it looks amazing. And it's probably a little bit tacky. It's going to dry out over time, and that tackiness will be gone. But I'm going to do these cracks, and as I move away from a section, so let's say I do a little 4-foot section, like let's say I do this section, I'll do the cracks, and then I'll stain the deck, and then I'll wipe it dry, and then that'll take away a lot of the tackiness. So that's the plan for there, and we're going to work our way away from the outside. But at this moment, we also have the fireplace, which I'm working on. That's the next project to do. So we got all this stone and slate up here, and so all of this is going to get done. So thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye.